What's up, everyone? This is Brotrio, and today we're going to give our review for Stranger Things Season 2. Sorry it's a little late. There was a lot of stuff that came out toward the end of October, and we've been having some sick, passing between us, and there's a lot of stuff's been going on.
Yeah.
But Season 2 was just great.
Yeah.
There was so many good scenes.
Yeah, those.
Yeah, God, it was so good. We're gonna keep things spoiler free here for a while. We'll warn you before we get into the major spoilers because we know Stranger Things is just,
so
a phenomenon.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of people that haven't had a chance to sit down and watch it yet. But
overall, Stranger Things Season 2 is just as good as the first season, in my opinion. Maybe slightly not as good. I don't want to say worse because I don't know, it doesn't sound right. Because it's not worse, it's just
different.
Season 1 was slightly better, I think.
Yeah.
But only slightly.
Yeah, it's different but similar. I think part of the reason is Season 1 was such a surprise because you had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
No one expected it to be that good either.
You still don't have any idea what's going on in Season 2, but you have somewhat of an idea because you're just like, oh, that's the Upside Down. But Upside Down is a complete and utter mystery. So
yeah,
you really don't have any clue what's going on. But the pacing of the show is really well done for the most part. There is one episode in there that kind of really puts a halt on the hype. And it's a good episode, but it wasn't placed in the right part of the season.
That episode was like riding down the street on a bike and someone just shoves a stick into the spokes and you just go flying and you're just at a dead stop and you're like, what the hell happened? It was a lot
like that.
Yeah.
Goddamn stick!
But overall, Season 2 of Stranger Things is amazing. I watched it in one day. I couldn't stop. It just keeps you going, and it's the potato chips of shows. You can't watch just one. You have to at least do 2 to 3 to 9.
Now, unless they just straight up suck in the future seasons, I think Stranger Things has cemented itself as Netflix's best original show.
Easily.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite shows.
It's my favorite ongoing.
Yeah, it's definitely Netflix's cream of the crop. And everybody involved, I think, has a bright future ahead of them potentially. Especially the directors and the child actors.
The child actors are just phenomenal.
Old boy was in It. Also.
Child actors, for the most part, aren't that great, but the Stranger Things actors are just killing it left and right. Mike looks legitimately sad when he's sad. Will is by far one of the best actors in this season.
I think Will is the best actor this whole season.
Dustin is great, as always. And Lucas gets a lot more showtime. And they're all just do an amazing job of acting.
Whoever was the casting director nailed it, and they need a raise.
Yes.
They need a big time raise.
But overall, Stranger Things Season 2 was phenomenal. You should go watch it. It's a great step forward for the Stranger Things story.
Mythos.
And it looks like it's gonna get even more crazy and expansive in the future.
Just a little more strange.
Yeah. So you should definitely go check it out. It's really amazing. With that being said, here come major spoilers. So if you haven't seen it or don't want spoilers, stop watching right now because they're coming.
I could barely think of anything to say without spoiling anything in that last part.
Yeah,
it's really hard because
tough.
Every episode has something major that happens in it.
Such just a fantastic show. Just
Yeah.
my favorite part was Will being possessed by not the Thessal Hydra, what they call
Mind
it? The
Flayer.
Mind Flayer.
Mind Flayer, yeah.
My favorite part was
That part was so
when you first discover it, and he was just
it's
like,
creepy to watch.
Mama was drawing him a bath because his temples running a little cold. He just he likes it cold.
Yeah.
And before that, you saw the smoke get into him.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
millions of like smoke tendrils just like forcing it into Will's mouth.
That was very disturbing. But then when he just was straight up possessed.
Yeah, he was possessed. Whenever they were burning the like tentacle vines, he had that crazy seizure.
And that scream he let out during it.
Everywhere!
It didn't even sound like a human noise.
Will was the star of the show, I think, in this season. He was just
I was worried that Will was gonna, for lack of a better term, get hangovered. Like Doug in The Hangover was not in the first one, and he really wasn't in the second one. So I was worried that was going to happen with Will in this season, but it definitely didn't, and it was amazing.
It was awesome how they still kept Will the center focus of everything, but he was actually there this time, not just missing in the Upside Down, talking to his mama with lights or whatever.
Yeah, it was just from start to finish.
I'm gonna go watch it again.
It was great.
Yeah, I want to watch it again now.
Oh man!
Now, when they found out Will was the spot.
That was one of the best parts.
I'm sorry. I told you that they upset him. And then he just had the Demo Dog army kill all the soldiers. Jeez.
I liked a moment before that, too, when everybody was starting to realize that some of them were realizing what was happening with him. How he was just like, you're the mom, and you're the friend.
Yeah.
And everybody's like,
crap.
Yeah, like you saw in Winona Ryder's face, she was just like, "This isn't Will."
And then when they found out he was still in there, I like that Winona Ryder, instead of coddling him and trying to get the mother back, as soon as they found out that he was still in there, they just got a bunch of space heaters and burned the crap out of him.
No, we need it out of him. And then Nancy's just like, "Oh, he's getting uppity. Let me put this fire poker into him."
Poke him with this hot metal. And it worked, but I didn't expect that to be Mama's idea. Maybe Hopper.
Yeah.
Or
my favorite part, as far as Will is concerned, was whenever they discovered Will was still in there
with the Morse code.
And he was communicating with Morse code tapping.
Mm-hmm.
Because they would talk to him, and that would distract the Mind Flayer enough to pay attention to what they're saying, so he has more info to convince them that it's Will. But Will could free his mind enough to Morse code communicate.
Yep. And as we said before, the only weak part of this show was 11's single arc.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't necessarily a weak part of the show. It was just.
It was bad placement.
The Demodogs are coming out of the hole.
Yeah.
Into Hawkins' lab, where everyone is at, and then credits. And then episode 7, starring number 8. That part. Was very minor, but it irked me a lot.
Yeah, we get 11. We get 11's Chicago Adventures or whatever. Right when the Demodog Army shows up. If they had flip-flopped those 2 episodes, it wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah. Or even maybe 2 or 3 episodes back.
Yeah, but it was a really good episode for 11's character.
And it opened up the world a little more.
Yeah, it really did.
You know, there's at least 11 psychics now.
Yeah, yeah, because
there's at least 2
has some really cool powers.
Some of them may have been failures.
Yeah, there were at one point at least 11. I'm going by the numbers here, but
I'm just saying maybe not all 11 of them wound up having powers.
They might not have made it either. They might have been killed. I'm hoping for another straight up Stephen King reference with a pyromancer like that Drew Barrymore movie. Firestarter? Is that what it's called? Yeah, that's what we need. We need Drew Barrymore to come in as the Firestarter. She can reprise her role. Just a different name, unless they want to keep it in that universe, but I don't think they can.
But yeah, the episode was good for 11's character because number 8, aka Kali, is going around and they're just murdering people from Hawkins' lab that experimented on them. Which, it's somewhat justified. They were treated very badly. But at the same time, murder is murder.
Yeah.
And it's the worst thing you can do. And 11 is, trying to fit in. They're just like, oh, she's not going to do it. She's goody-goody. She's like this hick in overalls. And then she's like, I've killed before.
Yeah.
She started saying bitching
Yeah.
all the time.
Just like, I'm bitching. And it was just a
Got the
cool,
slick back hair.
like, growing up episode for 11.
Yeah.
Because she, went to that one guy's house and was just, mind holding him down and about to kill him. And then she saw the picture of his family and had a heart and realized, you know what, this is not good. I shouldn't kill this guy.
Yeah.
And then they just escaped. And 11 really, like, grew up a lot in that episode. And it was just it's a well-written episode, just poorly placed in the season.
Yeah. And when she moved to that train was
man.
when I first started realizing, like,
Yeah.
just how powerful 11 is.
Like how far the limits of her power are. Because
she can do anything, basically.
up to that point, she was just moving, the heaviest thing I think she moved was a bookshelf.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yeah, that's heavy, but it's not like a piece of a train heavy.
Yeah. She vaporized the Demogorgon at like a molecular level.
Oh yeah, but that's not.
I know it's not heavy,
but
she
got herself lost in the upside down in the process.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now I think we've talked enough about how intense Stranger Things is, because there's two things about Stranger Things that really make it stand out. It's the intensity and the characters.
And the characters were in true form this season.
Yeah.
They couldn't. Oh man.
Steve Harrington and Dustin palling around so much was the
That's
best.
the ultimate duo.
Oh, man.
Steve Harrington in general was like, he became, I think, my favorite character now.
He wasn't like
He was never a douche.
jock turned good guy. He was just kind of like good guy.
Yeah, he was like
turned
a good guy that happened to be good at sports.
Yeah, he was just great in this season. Like, he was still, a typical teenage boy. Like, he would get jealous of Jonathan in some parts, rightfully so, too, because, they hooked up, so he's definitely right to be jealous. But he wasn't a douche ever, really. Like, everything he did was justified. And him and Dustin, I wouldn't have ever thought to pair those two together, but it worked so beautifully, because Dustin's my favorite character in the entire show. And him and Steve hunting down Dart was just so great.
Yeah. And the only character I didn't care for was Mike.
Mike didn't get enough showtime
He
this
didn't get enough
Well,
showtime, but when he did, he was a little jerk the whole time.
Yeah, he went in. He turned into Lucas from season 1.
Lucas and him switched spots.
Yeah, but you have to keep in mind, Mike is heartbroken. He has gone a year without, presumably, the love of his life.
That doesn't mean you get to be a jerk to everyone.
It does. He thinks 11 is dead, and he sits in a tent every night and gets on his radio and calls out to her. It's like the saddest thing ever.
Yeah, it really is.
Still doesn't mean you get to be a jerk to everyone.
I mean, it doesn't, but I get why he did it.
Yeah. And then Lucas and him swapped roles completely.
Yeah, Lucas got a lot more showtime this season,
did.
which was good. Because, I mean, Lucas and Max was a really adorable, blossoming romance.
Yeah, and I
started out as him and Dustin competing for her, and then Dustin got too caught up hunting down his demodog.
Yeah.
He kept a secret.
Yeah.
Now
I loved when Lucas lured Max to the arcade, which sounds worse than I meant it to, but and he just tells her straight up what's happening, and she does not believe him.
Well, why would she?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds crazy.
And then they go out to the arcade and start playing, and she's just like, "Oh, well, this with 11 and stuff," and he just freezes.
He's like,
He
"Stop
just
talking!
Stop it! Don't do this!"
Gonna get killed.
Yeah.
And that's when she realized, oh, he might have been telling at least partially the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I liked, but I didn't like Max's brother, Billy. Because he was the typical 80s bully.
He was so
he was
80s.
there to be a
Just
human antagonist. Which he did beautifully. I mean, he's a psychotic kid. I mean, he doesn't have that good of a home life, so that's why he's that way.
same with Mike. That doesn't mean you get to be a jerk to everyone.
It doesn't.
No.
I mean, his dad's a jerk to him, so he's gonna, he tries to literally run over 3 kids on bikes.
Yeah.
I mean, he was insane.
He was insane. He needed to go.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna die, and I was kind of hoping for it after a while.
Yeah, and he just like comes in. Steve stands up to him and fights him and gets his ass kicked by him.
Yeah.
Not until the plate got smashed over his head.
Oh yeah, Steve, because Steve's a good guy. Steve's fighting fair. Billy's not. Billy is bad, and he will win whatever means necessary. So then Max, syringes him.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
So we got to keep
Almost hits him in the nuts with a spiked baseball bat.
We got to keep stupid Billy, but we lost Bob.
Oh, Bob.
Bob was like my favorite newly introduced character.
It was Sean Astin. You can't not like Sean Astin.
Exactly. It's Sean Astin. He's great. He's like dorky.
He was a massive walking, talking Goonies reference for this movie.
He really was. He was just so great. He apparently went to high school with Joyce, where he was given the name Bob the Brain, because I'm guessing he was like the smartest kid in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was integral to them solving the mystery, because he just comes out and he's just like, there's these outline water, so they operate like roads.
Yeah.
And like, just knew that. And no information given other than, hey, Bob, what does this look like? You're good with puzzles.
Yeah.
And that was it. And he's just like, I
He
got
made
this.
his noble sacrifice, getting the power back on so that everyone could escape. And then right at the last possible minute, the demo dogs get him.
Yeah.
Bob deserved better.
Justice for Bob. And justice for Muse.
Yeah, justice for Muse, because Muse got wrongfully eaten by Dustin's mistake.
But it did lead us to one of the best lines.
Yeah.
When he was just like, was it Lucas that was, or no, it was
Steve.
Steve that was like, how do you know it wasn't just like a lizard or something? Just
How do I know if it's not a lizard?
Yeah, how do you know if it's not just a lizard?
Because his face opened up and he ate my cat.
Yeah, that was such a hilarious line. But yeah, and probably my favorite new relationship of this season was definitely Hopper and Eleven having their fake daughter-father relationship.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That psychic tantrum.
Yeah, their fight was intense. And if I were Hopper, I wouldn't be doing it. I'd just be like, you can have as many egos as you want. Just stop using your mind powers. And
when she wouldn't let him move the TV,
that was
and he was
intense.
just like, all right, fine.
Rips the cord out.
That was so intense.
I would be too scared of her to act like, or to treat her like an actual child. But,
yeah, I mean, you're basically raising Jean Grey.
Yeah, he's insane. But Stranger Things season 2, oh man, it was so great. The Mind Flayer I didn't think was as it's a way bigger threat, but it wasn't as threatening as the Demogorgon to me.
Well, he's behind the scenes mostly.
Yeah, because I mean he's
like a puppeteer type bad guy.
Yeah,
but
and
the whole
was
basically like Jaws. He was the shark.
Yeah.
Literally, he smelled blood and he would go after it.
Pretty much just a physical threat.
Yeah. But the Mind Flayer was definitely a great villain, because they were leading up to it the whole time, like their teacher is talking about the brain and it does all these things to protect itself, and that's more or less like the Mind Flayer is like the brain of the Upside Down, because if they did something and then they burnt the tentacles and it would send the Demodogs after them. So that was a really cool symbolism that had been building up this whole season. The Mind Flayer was a really cool hive mind type villain. I just wish it didn't seem as imposing, I guess. But they are also more seasoned to it, and they dealt with the Demogorgon in the past.
When what's her name? Joyce, is that the mom's name?
Yes.
When she was reviewing that Halloween footage and saw the static outline
that was
the Mind Flayer, that was it's the only time that anybody besides Will saw it, first of all.
Yeah.
But well, I mean, Hopper kind of saw it through the thing, but not really. But it was just that was the moment I was just like, yeah, this thing is a definite threat. If filmable, I guess you
Yeah.
could say, like when it's from another or in another dimension or whatever the upside down is. It's just such a cool touch.
Yeah, and it was just a very climactic ending because I mean the Demodogs are coming after everybody. The Mike and his group are luring them away in the little upside down caverns because they just like light them on fire, and then the Demodogs all come after him, and Dustin gets closure with Dart. And then 11 just epically closes the gate to the upside down, which she opened it in the first place. So I thought that was like great symbolic and literal closure to that.
Yeah.
But it was, and the Mind Flayer was like, you know, trying to keep it open. Like you could see their powers like meeting. And 11 just has blood streaming down her face and just screaming and closes the gate. And then it ends very happily.
Yeah.
Because Hopper gets to adopt 11, and then the most adorable scene of anything ever is whenever the 4 kids are getting ready for the snowball, and like their moms are all happy taking pictures of them, and then they get there, and Lucas and Max have their kiss. Some girl is just like, "Hey, zombie boy, let's go dance."
Yeah.
And then poor Dustin is like, he gets his bonding moment with Steve and does his hair up all nice and pretty, and then gets rejected by all these women. But then Nancy is just like, I'm going to ask him to dance, because it was a good boost to his ego and to his status.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So-
everybody's going to be like, how the heck did Dustin pull off the punch girl?
Exactly.
Because all those other kids were like trying to awkwardly hit on her.
Well,
and-
she's super popular and in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then the most adorable scene ever. Like, Mike's just sitting there, all depressed, like he's been all season. And then 11 walks in a dress, and Mike just like tears up at the sight of her because she's so pretty to him. And then they dance, even though they both don't know how. And it's awkward middle school dancing all around. It was just so adorable.
yeah.
But then pans out on the school, and it flips upside down, and the Mind Flayer's there looking at it in the upside down. So Mind Flayer is just like pissed,
Oh, he's
At 11.
He's watching. He's gonna. He's keeping
waiting
a
for
close
his
eye.
moment.
He's keeping a close eye on this group now.
So we don't know what that means for season 3.
Yeah.
Like, the Mind Flayer is
Nothing
gonna
good.
open the gate back up with a vengeance. Because, I mean, he doesn't have a face, but you can just feel that he's pissed.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing, like, number 8 and the rest of the Hawkins experiment kids are going to come back in a big way in season 3. Because that's mainly what that episode seemed to me, was like setting up for something bigger in
Yeah.
the future. But either way, I can't wait. Season 2 was just an amazing, just, it was so great.
Yeah. Overall, just a superb show. One of the best out there right now. Probably the best, honestly.
Yes.
It's up there.
But like good writing, good characters. We're gonna give it overall a 9.5 because it's not quite like perfect.
But it
It's
almost
still just great,
Oh, so
and it's well worth the time to watch.
Oh yeah, it's only 9 hours.
Yeah,
I mean, you're probably gonna do all 9 hours in one sitting because it's that good.
or maybe 2 sittings. Season 2 was just fantastic. Could season 3 be better? Stranger things have happened.